Scholars. I would be lying if I said that I've just not been impressed with all the information coming out of Destiny. I did look through the This Week in Destiny, and I was not impressed. In fact, I was so unimpressed I just didn't want to bother record. But there has been a shit ton more information that's come out. That's right. Now, before we get started, I just want to make something abundantly clear, because I know there's a lot of hate watchers out there, and I know there's a lot of people who continue to see me criticize Bungie specifically and mention the faults of Destiny 2. I want to make something abundantly clear. I have broken the shackles of Destiny. I play other games. We will talk about that in a minute. I love Destiny. It is a franchise close to my heart, just like Halo was, and still is. I'm not nearly as active when Halo. I don't even play Halo casually anymore. I just touch it like that old friend. You wave at it and say, "Hey, how you doing? How's the wife and kids?" With Destiny 2, at least I casually, stop by, see the neighbor. "Hey, how's it going today? You doing good?" Yeah. It's pretty much how it's been. I like Destiny. I hate Bungie, and I will never stop hating Bungie. They're incompetent. They're a trash company. They're worthless, and they are murdering and trying their damnedest to murder a franchise that I do love. And the people that made Destiny, most of them have quit or are working on Marathon now, right? So don't get it twisted. Don't get it messed up. I like Destiny, but I am a gamer for the gamers by the gamers, which means I'm not a $1 billion doormat. That's right. I stand for the gamers. I am a consumer, and I stand for consumer rights. I'm on your side. If you are a gamer, I'm on your side. I want you to have the best quality game you can have. I'm not like other content creators out there that will lie, gaslight you, try to hype you up, and then when you spend money, you feel bad about your decision. I'm very honest, and yes, I am biased. I'm always biased toward the gamers and the consumers. I will always be biased and think for the consumers. The $1 billion company, even though Scarrow has friends and wants you to think, Bungie's our friends, and all these other content creators want to shape Bungie as like good old company that's our best friend. They're a $1 billion company. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about me. And I'm tired. I'm tired of this whole, we can't be entitled. I hate this mindset that Destiny players are too entitled. Yes, you're damn fucking straight, and you have every right as a consumer to be entitled. The job of a $1 billion company is to sell you a product. If the $1 billion company wants to stay a $1 billion company, then they need to cater to the market. And if they're not catering to the market, well, you get what's happening to Bungie. You're not making fucking money. Who would have fucking thought? So don't let people gaslight you and try to make it sound like you're the villain and that Bungie's the victim. Fuck that. You're a consumer. Be as demanding and selfish as you want, because guess what? The market decides. And if $1 billion companies don't want to be a $1 billion company, then they can flush all that money down the toilet by not listening to its consumers. I can't believe it. It's common sense. It's consumerism 101. But just to answer someone's question from Frost, shout out to you for being another retard in the Destiny 2 community that we get to take a snapshot in. So what you gonna do when the game dies? Your channel dies with it, retard. Ah, yes. Look at all, this is nothing but Destiny. There's absolutely no other games I could play. It's all 100% Destiny, guys. There's absolutely fucking nothing else I could play. Absolutely nothing else I could play. Nothing else. Nothing else I could play. All 100% Destiny. Just nothing. I'm definitely can't spend hours playing any fucking other game. Man, shout out to the retards, the small section of retards in the Destiny 2 community. I don't even have to be a comedian or try to be a comedian and write jokes because you already are the joke. Let's jump into the topic today. That's right. The calendar. Shout out to the calendar. It's literally 2 fucking weeks. I'm sorry. We know that this week, because they've said on Twitter that Vanguard Alerts are the 2nd week of Renegades. So this is a 2-week calendar. Oh my God. Where we're going here in the 2 weeks of Renegades, this is what you can expect. The 2 weeks, that's it. Man, the bar cannot be set any fucking lower. In September, we shared a live stream outlining our plans between Ash and Iron, the launch of Destiny 2 Renegades, including our plans for upcoming features, yada, 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 yada. I don't give a shit. But as we continue to act on your feedback, we're taking additional time to craft our long-term strategy for the future of Destiny before we share a full state of the game and multi-year roadmap. It's very bold of you to assume that you're going to last multi-years, Bungie. Ooh. Here's the thing. Cut this bullshit out. Stop focusing about in the future and focus on the here and now. I think Bungie's model has always been the next thing, working as far ahead as possible and dishing out what they can. They're trying to crank out as much, stuff. Focus on one fucking thing and make sure it's good. Where we've been and where we're going. Starting with the Edge of Fate. With Edge of Fate, we presented a different vision for Destiny 2's core game. See, that is where you started murdering your game. You took what people liked and then you flushed it down the fucking toilet. If you wanted to do this, it should have been Destiny 3. It's funny. I literally said that a week before launch in my Edge of Failure, that this would bite them in the ass. Who would have thought? I'm a fucking prophet. It bit them in the ass. 1, intended to refocus our releases and player call to action on familiar but deeper pursuit of power. And yeah, no. Deeper, definitely deeper. That is all you did was pursuit of power. Ascending to higher tiers of gear across a wide range of activity. Damn. Already fucking lying. Already fucking okay. Where? How? Give me the. It was like 15 activities, solo ops. You had like Lost Sectors, Empire Hunt Strikes. At launch, we didn't even get Onslaught until week 2. The Coil week 2. Trials came later. Like it was barely fucking anything. So it's crazy that we're saying wide range of activities. Man, already caught lying. Supporting customizable challenge and commensurate rewards. Very quickly, the feedback made it clear that this was the wrong path for Destiny. I'm gonna extend an olive branch out here, right? Here's an olive branch. As much as I want to blame the yes man content creators for the summit, a lot of them are trying to say what we gave feedback and Bungie didn't listen. Olive branch, say that's true. By the way, Sonic Cup is back. Cheers. Say that's true. Olive branch. Not only did Bungie not listen to the community, they didn't listen to their content creators. I think this should be the massive indicator that we should not trust this company until they have actually done something right in a grand scale. I'm talking, we're not looking at the bare fucking minimum. We're talking about the massive, overarching, we are going in the green and for players, right? Who gives a shit about their monetary green? We need to be green in the player base. no dipshit, even if our execution, which is funny because people are already having negative feedback before the launch of Edge of Fate. Like people already were sounding off saying, okay, we don't like this. The portal does not sound good. Even if our execution had been perfect and we see plainly that it was not, oh, half the game breaking the entire fucking year, and you're going to say, plainly you can see it. Yeah. It is clear that grinding power will never be a substitute for earning a trophy. Climbing through throwaway tiers en route to gear you want to build around isn't aspirational. No, it's not. And the portal itself surrenders too much of Destiny's feeling of place and exploration. These lessons and many others besides them have been taken to heart by our team over the last 3 months. So what you're saying, if you're taking it to heart, that means we're stepping away from the portal, right? We're going back to making Destiny. We're going to have more open exploration. We're going to go back to the world of Destiny, right? We're getting rid of the portal, right? Because if you're really listening to the majority of the community, no one wants the portal except for content creators for some reason. But most people want the portal gone. So you're going to listen to us, right? Right. I love this because if you look at this, we're going to read this and I'm going to react to something. This is by far the most generic, bare, basic map I have ever fucking seen compared to Bungie's previous ones. So let's just talk about things that isn't coming with like the actual expansion itself, right? All these are expansion, seasonal power carries over. Okay. Big whoop. Exotic weapons armor featured. So what this implies is instead of having specific exotics and weapons featured, all of them are going to be featured now. Should have been like that from the get-go. Edge of Fate featured gear continues. Okay, so anything from the last expansion, you can use it with the new expansion. Vault space increase. We'll talk about that in its own spot. We'll talk about all that. So this is like, oh, quality of life features, but are you going to address the other aspects that are plaguing the game? Like the fact that the portal has soft sunset 90% of the game. You're going to bring in raids and dungeons and other paid content? Let's see. No. Portal, guys. What are you going to do with Renegades? You're going to play the expansion and then you're going to play the portal. New solo ops, the Typhon Imperator. Return of the Sunless Hell. You know what? That's a W for me personally. I love the Sunless Hell. So I like it should have never left it in the fucking first place. So old content. Introducing Arena Ops 6-player activities. I'm assuming that means Blind Well, Altars of Sorrow. Are they gonna sneak in Menagerie? Listen, they could bring back the Menagerie, and I don't even think that itself will change things dramatically, especially when people realize that you're just gonna get more of the portal loot, and it's just gonna be more of the same shit. Pinnacle Ops, Return of Vox Obscura. Should have never left in the first place. And Derealize. Listen, I like that. It was small, it was short. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays in the portal with all the modifiers. We'll see. And more. So keep that little spicy surprise. Portal rewards and cosmetic refresh. I'd hope fucking so. Solo, Fireteam, and Arena Ops. Crucible Ops. No new Crucible maps, though. No new strikes, though. Pinnacle Ops. Trials of Osiris. Order System. Oh, and then on the second week, we get GMs. We'll talk about that. Crucible, Arena Ops, continue weekly modifiers and events. So here, isn't this exciting, guys? Modifiers and events. I love that. You're going to have a weekly modifier. Wow. Sword Week returns. Foundry Weapons sponsorship. Tex Mechanica. The Dawning. Armor Week is bows. Iron Banner, heavy metal, mid-season call to arms, surges, rewards, boost, and more mid-season. So for Edge of Fate, we had Ash and Iron, but you're not gonna go ahead and give us a heads up what to, you know, a little taste for Shadow and Order, where the fuck it is, CSI, whatever. This is so generic. It's just more Portal. Yeah, Bungie, you really listen to people. You really listen. 90% of what you just said was the fucking Portal. Why does it look like the same shit that happened to Edge of Fate is going to happen in Renegades? Guys, the Portal. Once you're done here with Renegades, the Portal. The Portal. Don't you love the Portal? We know you guys want the world to be, everything else to be accessible. We're not going to talk about other paid content because we're just not going to put it in there because the Portal. And of course, you have people praising Bungie for being so brave. So brave. Oh my God. They're so brave. This acknowledgement is a huge step forward. Kudos to the team for hearing us and being brave enough to reflect on our complaints and look for ways to fix the game we all love so much. This is the kind of dick sucking I hate, and I do. I'm sorry. This is the biggest let me bend over and get fucked by a $1 billion company energy I have ever seen. All they have done is the bare fucking minimum. It is, I don't understand what is with this community, some parts of this community where Bungie can do the most little shit. And oh my God, they're so brave. Oh my God, Bungie, you're so brave by saying that you fucked up. Which is funny. Not once. I looked at for it. Where is Grok? 0 times have they apologized after a big mistake, saying sorry verbatim after extensive search across X using keywords and Bungie servers, Bungie official blogs, and yada, 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 yada. Bungie consistently uses phrase like, we apologize for the inconvenience, mistakes were made, we've made mistakes, we're investigating, thank you for your patience. Casual sorry appears in minor X replies, sorry about that. So stuff, but they never, ever say, we're sorry. We failed our community. We're sorry. They will never say sorry. They'll fuck you. They'll screw you over. They'll piss you the fuck off. They'll do scummy shit. They'll get caught with their pants down, but they will never say they're sorry. But they're so brave, guys. They're so brave. They're so brave, guys. I can't believe. Yes, it had nothing to do with money. It had nothing to do with that they're losing all their players. It had nothing to do that Sony's on their ass, guys. Them admitting that they weren't doing what the consumers wanted. It's so brave. Bungie, you're listening to us. You're listening to us, right? Right? Now, let me be honest. This is not every time that Bungie has said it or someone has mentioned it, but it does give an interesting snapshot historically all the way back about, Bungie Net, about we're listening. If you're talking about we're listening. 2018, we want you to know that this is not the only way you're gathering feedback. Disney 2, and they are not the only people we're listening to. April 2020. I know that some of you are out there may find the statement we're listening to be repetitive cliche of community management. Five years ago. Acknowledging community feedback during Shadowkeep era. January 2021. I don't want to lean too far into the we're listening meme, but it's 100% true that we take community feedback to heart and beyond. You can't make this shit up. You can't make it up, man. Even they were like, we're not trying to go into the meme. 5 years later, it's not a meme. Trust me, it's not funny. September 2023. And as always, we're listening and monitoring your feedback. By the way, I'm sure it's because I specifically put we're listening and not having to some degree of listening to allow the AI to grab everything. But it's just funny that it grabs stuff all the way fucking back in time. This whole we're listening. Are you how many years does it take to fucking listen to do something? I'm sorry. I can't give credit to a $1 billion company that does the bare minimum. And someone's going to be like, well, if we don't give them praise and tell them what they're doing when they do something right, then like, when will we ever do it? When we're in the green, when the bare minimum isn't just the game functioning correctly. Because that's where we're at, where the bare minimum is the game functioning at first, where every activity, every update breaks the game or does something buggy or does something that hampers the player experience. It's absurd. Then the next is getting rid of the fucking portal, which is soft sunset 90% of maybe 80% of the content, and most of it is paid. That's still irrelevant. They start reverting those changes. They start actually going into the green. And a good example was Into the Light. Into the Light was in the green. It was the step in the direction. Now we had multiple instances of green, like Into the Light, throughout the year. And I'm not saying we need Into the Light activity or like releases, but just the vibe, the excitement, the goodwill. I think a full year of goodwill, game functioning, people are having overall positive vibes, then I will start giving praises. But we haven't done that. We've had a year of shit. So no, I'm not going to give this $1 billion company my praise. If we were talking about Embark, who decided to apologize for using AI, or Digital Extremes, or whatever company, makes a whoopsie doopsie and they fuck up and they're like, we're sorry, I'm going to be generous with them, but not the company that's had 11 fucking years to figure it out. Going into Renegades, a focus of quality of life and rewards. So let's just say what we're doing, right? These changes address long-term feedback, while others are continuing iterations of feedback items from Edge of Fate. Wider access to power progression, especially in expansion content. So you'll be able to reach the power cap, and that power cap is like 200, whereas the seasonal cap, that will carry over. Exotics and armor are now featured. That's good. Additionally, we're moving the power catch up from a chest needing manual pickup to organic drops. Catapult to 300 and play with your friends. That's fine. Vault capacity and upgrades to ease collection pressure. They're adding 300. You're going to get 300 more slots. Which, I'm going to be honest, if even as a casual player, I have used all my slots up for all the different armor combinations and the different armor sets with their perk bonuses, I am almost tapped. 300 does shit fucking all for the problem. It doesn't. Like, it doesn't do fuck all, and there's going to be new guns too. Like, this doesn't solve the problem. Now, I will say it is a W. After 11 fucking years, we have a basic filter system. It took 11 years, but here we are. We're here. It's there, chat. I don't know why I say chat. Well, I'm not recording live. We finally got there. And then we have this one, which is both. It's a double-sided coin. That was a really stupid statement. Coins have double-sided, you dumbass. It's like a coin. It has good and a bad side. Universal exotic ornaments. we're opening up the fashion game. Players may now apply any owned exotic ornament of the same class and slot to their exotic armors. That means if you want to go and make your Titan look Siva-fied, you can use the transmog armor for your legs and look all Siva. And then you can use you can only have one exotic armor piece, which kind of sucks. I wish you can put exotic armor on top of legendaries, but you could use that, you know, the Syntheseps Siva and put it on any exotic, right? You could use Worm God Caress. No longer do you have to worry about Worm God Caress killing your vibe. You can look sexy. Shout out to Warlocks in your Starfire protocol. You now can actually have a good looking bit. You don't need the weird looking dress. You can actually look like a good Warlock. So it's a good thing, but let's be honest. They're not doing this for you or for me. They're doing it for money. Now that you can use more options for your exotics, guess what? They're gonna start shoving more in the store, and you're gonna spend more money. I personally am gonna save my Bright Dust because I'm gonna buy as much as I can with Bright Dust and not spend a damn in the store. They don't earn my money yet. So you see the Aeon Swift with, you know, Renewal Grasp. Neat. Now I see this. This was in the This Week in Destiny. People are like, GMs are back. But are they really? Are GMs back? First off, let's see what they have to say. Numerous sandbox buffs exist to exotic and legendary archetypes. We've already talked. I didn't cover that either. Apparently, it has its ups and its downs, right? It's just Bungie desperately Uno reverse carding a lot of the changes, especially like to Osteostriga, which just murdered that gun. Go figure. Arena ops bringing select players such as Catch Crash for larger fire team fun. God, what? Okay, so it may not. You know what? I thought it might be Blind Well and Altars of Sorrow, but it's just going to be Catch Crash. That's what it's going to be. Oh my fucking God. They didn't even bother bring any of the world activities back. Astral Alignment, Nightmare Containment. At least the Leviathan's back. Guys, you wanted the Leviathan back, didn't you? You bitched about us not bringing Red War back. You got... Oh, shit. That's funny. But yeah. New legendary weapons and armor sets to earn. I'm gonna say something very hype. I'm gonna not hype, but very controversial. I'm not excited about the loot, and not for the reason that you think, right? I don't think loot was ever the problem, and I don't think it is the problem. Edge of Fate and Ashes of Iron released some of the best weapons we've ever gotten. Like really cool, exciting, like the Solstice weapons are like some of the best weapons we've got. We got the rocket assisted pulse rifles, which are absolute bangers. We got a chill clip shotgun. The fusion rifle is juice from the Pinnacle Ops. Trying to think of anything else that pops up. We got multiple bows, which are pretty juicy. Hell, even Trials got almost everything that's a banger and could be used. I mean, we saw the Salta Greppo special with the Trial Scout Rifle absolute carrying. Shout out to him because I have that in my inventory now too. Showing the tech. The loot is not the problem. It's funny because it used to be where you would have this aspirational like activity and the loot was ass. I'm thinking like Lightfall. Lightfall would just, the loot was awful. Not that Lightfall had any really good activities anyways, but I just using that as an example. It feels like the pendulum has swung the other way, where now we have amazing loot, but now we have nowhere to fucking use it, right? Like nowhere that actually matters. Like you can only play the portal so many fucking times, and it becomes boring as fuck. So it's like we need to be in the middle. So the Dawning, which is, you guessed it, the Portal. Arms Week, which you guessed it, is the Portal. Guardian Games, if it's like Solstice of Heroes, they're not going to introduce an actual special activity for it. It's just going to be, you guessed it, the Portal. Call to Arms is just Guardian Games 2.0, except it's just the Portal. Iron Banner was all right. I'm really surprised we only got one Iron Banner. Like, there was a lot of dead weeks that they could have shoved Iron Banner into it. I don't know why they only did one Iron Banner this whole almost 4 or 5 months. Heavy Metal, please, for the love of God, do a new map. It's so fucking boring. Sprinkled throughout these months will be general port modifiers. No one gives a shit. Weapon Foundry sponsorships. This does not substitute for actual fucking content. And that's what they're using. They use these as a substitute for actual seasonal content. That's why Ash and Iron was awful. Eyes up, Guardian. All right, so yeah, they're introducing Grandmasters, but the problem with the Grandmasters is, one, as you can plainly see on the fucking screen, the scoring system is still part of it. I absolutely hate that they're still continuing on this shitty scoring system. And instead of just playing the fucking thing, beating the activity, you also have to achieve a B or higher reward. I won't be honest. It's so fucking annoying. Now, shout out that we do have matchmaking. Was not expecting that. Also, it's a surprise. I want to see strike specific loot again, and or rotational Vanguard. This is Vanguard shit. I want Vanguard only. And they did mention that there's going to be weapons with a new special origin trait. However, I want to be able to farm the fuck out of this playlist like I did regular GMs. And I want I want this to just be a visual, and it doesn't matter as long as you beat the fucking thing. You're good. You will always get an A rank. But if I wanted to solo this for the fun of it or whatever, right? I want to get loot out of it. If I have a shitty team that I have to carry, I want to get good loot out of it. Anytime I see anything about ranking and scoring, I immediately am shut off because it just tells me it's just more portal bullshit. Also, I don't know. I have to double check. I do have it here, so I just want to do my due diligence. Dungeon and raid. We included dungeons and raids and Vanguard alerts to give you early access to these activities. The Renegades dungeon and its perpetual have weekly challenges. Okay, but what about the other fucking dungeons? What about the paid content? What about that? What about that, Chief? I want to see the part where they talk about GMs. I don't know if they do in here. Grandmaster, these are more difficult activities where you and your fire team can test your metal and your newly acquired rewards and power levels. Cool. Rotating weekly. Okay, good. Grandmaster alerts should take slightly longer and offer greater rewards for your time and effort, as they are harder than the usual Grandmaster you found elsewhere in the portal. Great. Think of them as Grandmaster Nightfall's old. Everything sounds good, except I don't want to have to touch the modifiers. It needs to be preset. And I don't know if it says that. I don't know if it actually is preset. It doesn't say anywhere that's preset. I want to know that it's fucking preset, right? I'm not seeing where if it says it's preset. Comment down below if they said it somewhere on Twitter and I didn't see it, but that's my biggest fucking concern. I would be excited for GMs to come back. If this was like, I can be in the, like, I love GMs of old. I farmed the shit out of them. I loved hanging out with people in the community and just like, I have some good memories doing GMs. They're always a good time. This is where I used to live in Destiny. My time would be grinding out GMs when I didn't do anything else. I would be a GMer. Also, does this mean that we can get conquest or a new title from this, I would love a new title. Like, just call it Grandmaster. You have conquest for the conquest shit. Give us a Grandmaster title. I would rock the shit out of Grandmaster. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to see how it plays out. Like, is it going to really feel harder? Is it really going to be a challenge? Is it going to feel like old? And another question I have is, does this mean that we're going to get double loot weekdays again? Like, I'm talking about actual double loot where just playing it, you are always, if it is only the bonus focus or whatever, that you have a one-time drop chance, I'm over that bullshit. Give me double fucking loot. You used to be generous, now you're being fucking stingy. Like, it's crazy. It is easier than ever to get loot, and I would be okay if they scrolled that back, and in place we had double loot weekend, or not weekend, weekdays. Hell, make it a weekend if that you care that fucking much. I'll spend a weekend grinding GMs. Fuck, why not? I love strikes. I like strikes. They're fun. And I'm disappointed that we did not get any new ones. And it doesn't look like we're going to get new ones. It doesn't look like we're going to get new ones. I'm also, I don't know how I feel about Vanguard Orders. I have to play it. It just feels like more fucking menu gameplay. In fact, the whole fucking thing seems like more. That's I want the biggest takeaway from this is that Bungie, instead of putting us back in the world like they said, they're just finding more fucking menus, more menus, more menus, more fucking menus. Can we stop? You were saying, hey, we need to make the world of Destiny feel like Destiny again, but we're just adding more fucking menus. For fuck's sake, stop. Just let it die. I don't know, man. I am not impressed with 90% of this, and everything else is like the bare fucking minimum. Doing a cosmetic change, that's bare minimum. Adding a filter system and expanding, that's the bare minimum. Doing rotations, adding more to the game, or at least options in the portal, since you sunset 90% of the game, that is the bare minimum. There is nothing allowing you to do Grandmasters, the shit we were already doing. That is the bare fucking minimum. Guys, beware over delivery. AKA expect the bare fucking minimum. By the way, I've always get comments saying, I love how you continuously say it wrong multiple times. And I will say minimum. I'll murmur it. I'll say it wrong. That's how you know I'm serious, with a serious brow. Yeah, this is shit. It's garbage. This gives me no fucking hope for the future of Destiny. And it shouldn't give you hope. Like, it's 2 weeks, and all it is the fucking portal. Fuck's sake. And quality of life changes. If you were to remove all the quality of life changes and look at the actual activities, it's the fucking portal. And it's not paid content. We have no update, no roadmap, no like insight to, hey, this is what we're doing with content you paid for, and we're continuing to make other people pay for. We're not just going to make it free, but we're also not going to bring it forward. We're going to continue to let it sit in the dust, even though we've made the statement that we learned our lesson. Did you really learn your fucking lesson? Then why are we not saying, actually like showcasing? And I know you want to do a roadmap, but I think the biggest problem that people have outside of the portal is that 90% of the game is soft sunsetted. 80%, whatever. I'm being generous here. It would not be hard to say, to give an estimate. How long would it take? And the reason they don't do that is because it would take much longer than you and I think it will. And they don't want you to know that because it would make you unhappy. But guess what? People are already unhappy. So it's better to bite the bullet and just say, you know what, full transparency, it might take 2 years. It might take a year. Or we're trying to focus on the paid stuff first and trying to fix the fact that we released the portal. No one likes the portal. So we're focusing on that first, and then we'll worry about the 80% of content that we've kind of left behind. We're going to focus on that first. Like, I do not think that Renegades itself will save the game. If you think that Renegades will carry for the next 6 months, I think you're smoking some bad juju. See what I did there? But you're definitely smoking something. Like, Bungie's doing Uno reverse cards on all the shitty mistakes they've made, but they're still shitty mistakes that they're not changing. They're doing the bare minimum. There's nothing here worth praise. It is literally the floor of what we could praise is so low. Anyways, let me know what you think. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. As always, I'll see you later.